The centerpiece of the show, however, was a giant monster truck, center stage Glacium. Like, so cool. Like, we had this idea to put a truck on stage, we're gonna do it. And Lewis's piano was built into the truck, and he played the central role of the truck driver. So the rhythm section of the band was actually on top of the truck. And as we're learning more about the stage plot of the show, it sounds so awesome.
The truck was fire engine red.
Yes.
I think Lewis.
And which is why we changed from the first concert for Truckload.
Also, I look like Bernardo. Just cool.
Throughout the show, Truckload, not West Side Story, characters going on their journeys would climb on board the truck. At one rehearsal, the Daily News reported that Miss Birch's assistant took notes on the changes she was constantly suggesting by dictating into a tape recorder. "It's my homework," he told the reporter. Here to speak about Truckload is that young assistant director, who also appeared on Broadway in shows from Do I Hear a Waltz to the Scarlet Pimpernel, Mr. James Dybas.
Thanks so much. I was younger then, as the song goes. Thank you so much. I have to say, Keith and Jen, this is an incredible job they're doing. I mean, all of this work, all of the research they've done. Thank you so much. And I have to say, when I look out into the audience and I see all you young people out there, like, this is like a master class in theater history. You know, it's really great to see everybody here. 1975, July. I first want to, hot. I want to say, first of all, I want to thank and acknowledge a casting director by the name of Vinnie Liff. You know, Vinnie was beloved by the whole theater community at the time, and he was responsible for putting me back in touch with Pat Birch, who I had done West Side Story with. She was Anybody's, and I was Chino at the Dallas State Fair musicals in 1970. And it was because of Vinnie Liff that Pat and I started working together, and it was extraordinary. We were all lucky to be working that summer because unemployment was at its highest since World War II, that summer of 1975. And the subway fare was going up to 50 cents. So, as you both talked about our producers, we had three main producers. The Schuberts, who were Bernie Jacobs and Jerry Schoenfeld. Dick Clark from American Bandstand, and the lady by the name of Adela Holster, who this year, February of this year, was once again let out of prison. In 1977, she was found to have 137 accounts of larceny and falsifying records. She was put in prison then, and I think maybe another time. And she was paroled this year, as I said, in February, for bilking dozens of immigrants out of about $200,000 of promising to help them to get permanent residency in the U.S. Actually, it was about $1.5 million, I think. Prior to that, she already served 2 prison stints for rip-offs. Anyhow, enough about our producers. Let's get to our first day of rehearsal, which was at the Diplomat Hotel at 103 West 43rd Street on the 3rd floor ballroom. And that summer was so hot, it broke all kinds of records. Concrete streets were buckling under and things like that summer. And Hugh Wheeler was an extraordinary writer, and he had this description of Truckload. He said, "Truckload is a musical tribute in this age of overmobility to all those countless Americans in restless transit across the United States. some looking ahead eagerly, some looking back sadly, some uncertain of the future, some haunted by the past, all of them caught in mid-flight between yesterday evening and tomorrow morning. Rather poetic, don't you think? Pat hired me to be her assistant, and I showed up. I gave warm-ups every day, took Pat's directing and dance notes, and worked with the actors on scenes and with the dancers on the steps. It was 1975, and that's when the little cassette recorders were just coming in. You know, now we take it for granted. We take our iPods and whatever. But I would record everything onto this little tape recorder, and I'd take the tapes home and listen to what went on and what I, had recorded so that I could do my homework and show up the next day with some notes and things. And Pat, I gotta say this, Pat Birch is with us tonight. An extraordinary woman who loves people, loves human beings, and knows how to work with them. And can take anybody, and give them steps and make them look good. That's what Pat can do. I remember her saying that she's always up front. Always up front. Her cards were on the table all the time during all rehearsals. She said something like, if anyone had any gripes to come to her or our production stage manager, Tommy Smith, she said, let's not have anything festering, let's deal directly out front. There'll be no secrets and no scuttlebutt. She said, I can turn into Eva Braun if I have to, but we don't want any of that. She said, let's work like normal human beings and have fun. That's what we did. We had fun. She kept reiterating that we have to get to know the people better, so that we care about them and allow them to do the musical number. Because how Pat works, she works with actors. She lets you build the character. And that's how she develops what kind of steps she's going to give you, how she's going to arrange the choreography. Actors first, then we go into the movement. She's a Martha Graham trained dancer. She said, She said just before we were to open the Lyceum, she said it was getting closer to that time. She said that her juices really flow when she has a deadline. And we had deadlines. We kept working, and every day she'd say to everybody, because we were tired, it was hot, it was more energy, let's keep going, let's keep moving. We had incredible music, which I'll talk about in a minute, that Knew This Road. And one of the songs was a Latin song done by two gentlemen and a woman, and it was to a cumbia beat. And Pat brought in a man called Don Di Natale to help us learn the cumbia. So there we were on those hot summer August days doing the cumbia at the Diplomat Hotel. And she said that the whole show should be played like it was cinema verite. These are real people. And if a camera were filming us, it should be not acting, but human beings. She said that the spoken arias or monologues were all private thoughts in public places. And that's what she tried to do. Work with the actors to get that going, to get that humanness happening, so that as we got to know them, the songs would naturally unfold. And Lewis wrote anything. He said, he'd always say to everybody, be dirty. Don't be polite. No nice singing. It should be rough and dirty. He really wanted it from the guts. He wanted us to feel what those people were feeling. They were all people that were running away from something or running to something. With their child, with their talents, with their luggage. He wasn't only the composer, but he also was the dance arranger, the rehearsal pianist, and a performer. We had this enormous big truck that was assembled. We were all taken, the producers set it up so that we could go out to an where the airplanes are, in a hangar, an airplane hangar in Newburgh, New York, where Pete Feller was building this truck. And we went out there and spent, I think it was a day, and we spent the night and worked a bit of the next day and came home the next evening within the truck, how we were going to behave, how we could start to find home, what home was for us huddled in that truck. And Lewis was the truck driver. He sat up in the front, in the cab of the truck, with the dashboard. The dashboard was his piano. And he opened the show. And that truck came in. It was, I have goosebumps thinking about it now. That red truck came in, and it turned around on a turntable, I believe. And then we saw the whole truck on the stage, and people started to sing. It was amazing. And everybody was thrilled to be doing the show. But the cast was extraordinary. Everybody was... Eileen Graff is also here from the show. She's going to sing something from I Love My Wife, which she also did later on in the show. But Eileen also has wonderful memories about what we did. And it was truly a loving, fun-loving company. And what Lewis would do is, as Pat was choreographing different things, Lewis also composed the dance music on the spot as it was happening. And it was amazing. And Pat and Lewis both always spoke about diction, about words, and about volume, so that everybody can understand what we were doing. We rehearsed after we were up at the Diplomat Hotel. We went to the Winter Garden Theater for a while, and the American Ballet School. And then we wound up at the Lyceum, back and forth from the Winter Garden to the Lyceum. Winter Garden to the Lyceum. Floors were slippery at different places. We moved. And I remember Adela Holzer is of Spanish descent from Spain. You remember this guy? Debbie Allen was playing a Latina woman. Latina was a great Latin number that Lewis wrote. And Debbie Allen was playing a Latina woman with these two men, and Adela came in and she says, no, you have to stop. She said, when you say that word wedding, I want you to slap your face and say, wedding. And you have another line. When you say something about the new material, you say the word material. And when you say there, I want you to slap your face. Material. Right? And Debbie was very gracious about it. She said, oh, thank you very much, Miss Holzer. And when she left, I went, oi. So, she handled it well. She thanked her. I must say, I kind of remember when we got into the Lyceum, we had a lot of sound problems for some reason. We were always talking about sound. And I remember Dick Clark coming in and working with those sound guys so that the mix was really right. You know, it was an extraordinary experience. I've gone on too long about this, but I have to say it was a happy time for all of us. And we all learned an awful lot. And we learned about, mostly probably about loving and letting go. It's good to be here. Thank you.